Welcome back to the Whiskey and Wisdom podcast. As per usual, you got your classic co-host, Chris Kellum, and
I'm Tyler Y'all, and today our special guest is...
Carmin Black. Hi.
welcome back.
Thank you.
one of
Thank
the
you.
few returning guests that we've had. So,
Stop.
yeah,
Are you
it's an
serious?
honor. Yeah.
Oh, I hope this is one of many, guys.
Yes.
We're going to have things in the future to talk about.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
think we've had less than 5 people return.
Stop.
Yeah.
Guys, what? Okay.
Yeah,
This
we've
is
got to pump you up
is-
for this
yeah.
one.
This is good. Okay. Well, I guess you don't have to go through who the others are, but they must be special.
They are what we would consider friends of the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're kind of like OGs, so we bring them back to kind of see what's going on in life and everything like that.
No, I think that's smart because as entrepreneurs, which I'm assuming they are,
Mm-hmm.
things change and they can change rapidly.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's good.
So this week, before we dive into everything that's happened over the past year, what are we sipping on, Tyler?
Yeah, so this is our cocktail of the month. So it's the sister company of Azalea Station, which is Alcove, which is right across the street from us here in the Cargo District. We are sipping on the Blackberry Bourbon Smash. So it's going to be freshly muddled blackberries, bourbon, a mint simple syrup, and lemon juice.
Yeah,
So,
it's
very
nice.
It is
refreshing.
delicious.
Yeah.
So cheers.
Cheers.
Get
Cheers,
into it.
cheers. Thank you.
So the random Chris question is, what are these glasses made of? That is,
It didn't
I'm
clink,
gonna
did
have
it?
to find out that if it did have like the big clink like we usually do. So I'm like,
Oh,
I
bet
think
you
it's the smart thing that most cocktail and bars do is something that's not going to shatter when drunk
Sure.
people drop them.
yeah, true. Very
Weird.
true.
I am pretty clumsy, so I accept it.
I was like, I
yeah,
appreciate it.
you can test it today.
Please don't.
No, we don't want to be kicked out after the first week.
That's true.
So, welcome back, Carmin.
Thank you.
For those who don't know you, give us a little syllabus about yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So my name is Carmin Black. I consider myself a social entrepreneur, I guess is what I would call myself. Let's see, I owned a company for 15 years called Half United,
Mhm.
which was a social good fashion brand. For every product that you purchased, we gave 7 meals to kids in need. And we gave, over 3 million meals away.
Sheesh.
But that was by way also of things like fish farms and school lunch meals. And, we built fruit tree farms and all kinds of incredible vegetable gardens and all kinds of cool things. So really, it might have even been more than 3 million individual meals. But after 15 years, I think my brother had exited, on around year 10. He was my original business partner. And it was just one of those things where I think it had sort of taken its toll and it was time to do something different. And I got this really incredible opportunity to... We have our first attendee. Wait, is this someone's significant other?
Yeah, it's Mo.
Hey, that's my husband over there.
For those who don't know, this episode is live.
Right, which is what we are doing from now on. So if you want to come and join us the first Sunday of every month at Azalea Station, come on, do
Yes.
that.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Anyways, but cheers to you. Hello, madam. I got a really incredible opportunity probably around year 13 of Half United to work with Joanna Gaines and her team
yeah.
at Magnolia.
Okay.
And I just felt like, you know what? I really think that this is a wonderful enough opportunity where if I want to, how do I say, just like in a loving way end Half United, this would be the time to do this with grace. It's like when, when actors are at the peak of, a
Right.
sitcom.
Yeah.
And it's time to say, you know what? It probably is not going to get a whole lot better than where we're at. So let's gracefully bow out and let's move on to the next. And so that's kind of the decision I made. And I talked to my brother about it and he's like, listen, I've been thinking about this. It's time. He's like, it's time. So here we are. Yeah. Yeah.
That's great. So the first time we had you on was mostly about the Half United story and everything. So please go back, listen to that to get the background story. But when you had that opportunity, I guess what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago,
Yeah.
what was really like the catalyst where you were like, yes, this is what I need to do? And what was like the first step that you made after that opportunity kind of presented itself?
Well, it was interesting for us because we had had a run-in, very sadly, with a manufacturer that had been in business for 80 years that we really trusted and loved. And during COVID, we found out that so we sold at Half United, we sold leather bags, jewelry, mostly like what I would call like high-end costume jewelry. In the industry, we'll call it like demi-fine, so made of sterling silver with 7 mils of 14 karat gold, that sort of thing. We sold in Nordstrom nationwide for many, many years. We competed with like Kendra Scott and Tory Burch and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, during COVID, our manufacturer had outsourced their production to China without telling us. And we got the jewelry in, and it was tarnishing left and right. I mean, I'm talking by the hundreds of pieces. Nordstrom dropped us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Many of our over 300 retail partners called, and they were like, what is going on? We've hung this on our shelves. It's turning black. What's happening? And so really the catalyst for saying, wow, this opportunity to work with Magnolia, to be associated with Joanna Gaines and her team and the business that she and Chip have built. It was one of those things that I think as an entrepreneur, you're always looking and saying, like, and this is like daily, what's my pivot? What's my next pivot? What
Right.
do I need to do? And so for us, it was this weird dichotomy of we've got this awesome opportunity. Yay, we get to design for Magnolia and be in their stores and online and, be promoted by them. And at the same time, we sort of have to end because our number one manufacturer that makes our number one selling product is providing us something we cannot sell, which makes up 60% of our sales.
Oh, wow.
60%.
Yeah.
So when I was on the podcast the last time, which again was around the same time that we were closing Half United, I was under extreme, I mean, I cannot express, I was in extreme duress. Like I was very stressed. Lawyers had gotten involved. The manufacturing partner had decided to take no responsibility. It was really bad. And for somebody that had built a business on this altruism of fighting hunger and giving back, and for it to be robbed of us in such a way where it was just like, man, we can't give back because I have nothing to sell. And we tried to pivot and sell, home goods and more leather products, and it just was, I mean, it sold and it was good,
Right.
but nothing can replace something that, is more than half of your total sales.
For sure.
And oh my gosh, guys, it was really hard. I mean, really, really hard. So anyways, that was the catalyst. And so something that was a challenge really forced me to go towards something that was a massive blessing.
That's really neat. So now that you've made the transition, it's been nearly a year into it now.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about what you are making now and kind of how that production works.
So it's interesting. What I decided to do was, so at Half United's like peak, when we sold this necklace called the Fighting Hunger Bullet Necklace. And when it was just like at its peak, we had about 1,000 retail partners.
Oh, wow.
Once we went into demi-fine, naturally, if you go from a $34 product to an almost $300 product, many of your customers will say, hey, you guys are still doing cool stuff, but we can't afford that.
Right.
And we knew that transition would happen. So all to say, why did I even tell you that? What are we doing now? There's a reason I was like segueing and now I don't know, brain fog. Anyways, so I don't know why I told you that.
It's good information, though.
Hey,
I
that's
appreciate it.
that's really
So,
cool.
yeah.
That's cool to know. But basically, maybe this is where I was going. Basically, what I learned is that, towards the end of Half United, we had, my goodness, we probably had 300 different SKUs that we were selling, and
Okay.
things
Wow.
had gotten so
Yeah.
complex. We were developing in 8 different countries. I mean, helping to gainfully employ over 600 people. It was awesome, but it was very complex.
Right.
I had, in-house, I think we were a team of like, I don't know, 9, maybe 12 of us. But then out of house, we had 5 showrooms, 11 sales reps. We were in multiple countries. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So when I started Carmin Black, the brand, which is what my new brand is called, basically I decided, you know what? Magnolia has placed an order of of a certain size that will carry us for a while. And I'm going to sell just whatever they buy, which are 4 SKUs
Yeah.
in 2 colors each. And that's all I'm selling. We have a website, carminblack.com, but you cannot buy off my website. You can only buy on magnolia.com. So anytime I post on Instagram and tag a product, all it does is send you right to Joanna Gaines' business.
Let them deal with it.
Let them do it. And so I thought, let me take 15 years of knowledge and let me apply this and grow a really healthy, profitable business. Not something that has, sort of grown legs and is struggling to retain profitability and all this stuff. So we're profitable because myself and one other person were the only employees. And basically what's coming is Magnolia, thank God, has asked for, they started with 4 SKUs. They've now asked for 18 new styles.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So I just went to India for the second time to develop styles there. I'm working on, tomorrow I travel to the British Virgin Islands to open a new retail store with a woman who owns a private island right next to Richard Branson's, which
That's
is
neat.
awesome. That's really, that's exciting. And what else am I doing? Working on a home goods project with my mom that we hope doesn't launch for like 2 years. I mean, I'm just being really slow and steady wins
Right.
the race.
Yeah.
I am in no rush. I used to want to be big and bad, and my goal was I want a $300 million company. That's what I wanted. I don't know. I think because I used to work for Tom's Shoes, and he had $500 million, and I was like, I should have said 500 million, but I said, that's what I want, is I want this company, and I was just running to achieve that. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not setting quarterly goals. I have dreams
Sure,
and
yeah.
ambitions, but I'm just not going to do that. I'm going to gradually let whatever happens in business and wherever the business takes itself, I'm going to say, all right, we've reached this milestone. Where are we going next? And just take it slowly and just build in a holistic way.
So with that being said, what's your product that you're working on now that you're most excited about?
Oh,
You took my idea.
Oh, sorry.
yeah. No,
Took Chris's question.
well, here's something that's interesting. So I still have jewelry that it's funny because right before I closed Half United, I had designed a fine jewelry collection that I never did anything with. And I recently reached out to my friends at Reed's Jewelers and I said, hey, I have this small jewelry collection. It's fine. Would you guys like to sell it? They said, yeah, let's meet. So even though that is not part of growing the Carmin Black brand in terms of leather handbags, which is mostly what I'm doing for Magnolia and myself, I'm excited about that. But this little side project feels like something that is a creative outlet.
Yeah.
And I love Reed's, and I'm really proud of the family business they've grown very, very holistically. And so, yeah, I'm kind of excited about that, and we'll see what happens with that.
Well, that's pretty cool because
Yeah.
Chris works there currently and I worked there for years
Yes.
prior. So
You do?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. What do you do?
I'm in-person sales. So like I'm in a store.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Mayfair.
Are
Yeah.
you kidding?
No.
You mean we get to work together potentially?
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
See, and that's the shout out. In general, like I don't think people realize family-owned businesses and like small businesses are always connecting to each other. So like Carmin Black, like your brand itself is gonna have its name, especially
Yeah.
locally. And Reed's, like I know a lot of the buyers and they do a great job of curating a collection that is local or small businesses that have a great trajectory for the future.
Well, and what I've also learned about Reed's, and they sold Half United for many years,
Yeah.
which was so cool for them to sell a $34 bullet necklace to help us fight hunger locally. Like that was so cool. And let's see, oh gosh, Zimmerman.
The
Yep,
family
Zimmers.
still
Yep.
lives here.
Yep. This was, 14 years ago. They came and met with my brother and I and came to our shop and were so delightful. But one of the things that I've really been impressed with and thankful for is that Reed's, they really care about the charitable aspect of our
Oh, yes.
business. Because even though Carmin Black, we do not give 7 meals per product sold, but I focus on gainful employment and I purposefully take our production and manufacturing to developing nations where people otherwise would absolutely be living in poverty. And it's really cool because where we manufacture in India, a lot of the men and women that make our products, typically they're farmers and they work in the fields in India and rural India. But during certain seasons where, of course, they're waiting for their crops to grow, they need other work. And without other work, they would be really struggling. So they come and make my handbags and jewelry. And it's a beautiful thing to see, but it's like, man, this job is really helping feed their families and give them health care and give them transportation and all the normal things you need. And anyways, Reed's has really bought into that and been really supportive of that, which is cool. So
Right.
It was something I didn't realize that they did until being there for like I've been there for 7 years.
cool.
And like the first year, you're like, okay, I don't really pay attention. And then as you're going and working with the family, you see them come in, like they actually say, like they know almost everybody's name. Like when they
Mhm.
walk in, oh, this guy's new. Has he been here before? Like it's despite the fact that we have over 60 stores and we have a full team at the home office, like they still, like the family, the Zimmers still show up and like they do their best to learn and they try and like support the community.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. For sure. That's really cool. Yeah, I like that.
So currently, you
Mhm.
said you were expanding with the Magnolia collection. Is it is it handbags? Like what
Yeah.
products are you guys doing over there?
Yeah, it's handbags. We have tested some jewelry with them. I think, it's cool to actually see how they are oftentimes testing and trying different ideas and styles.
Mhm.
And for a very brief moment, and I don't think there's anything proprietary about me sharing this, but they had
Mhm.
thought about maybe introducing fine or demi-fine jewelry. So we sort of tested that. That's not going to happen right now. So the only thing that I'm working on for them right now is leather products. And so
Nice.
yeah, we're just expanding that collection. Oh, and they got this really cool like monogramming machine. And so everything that I have designed now has to be able to have the ability to be monogrammed. So we're doing like some travel accessories, some things that, makeup pouches. Let's see. I'm doing a book bag for them.
Oh, neat.
Ooh.
Some new bag. Yeah, just
Yeah.
some cute things. And I'm doing some cute plays. I hope Joanna likes it. But, I don't know if you guys know, like, she's known for roller skating.
Oh, I
I did
didn't know
not
that.
know
So,
that.
yeah. So I have made like some keychains and some different little things that sort of pay homage to her and things that, tried and true Joanna Gaines or Magnolia fans would
Yeah.
love. Put her roller skates on things and some cute, like Waco, Texas-esque
Yeah.
designs I've sort of incorporated into what we're doing just for it to be fun and playful.
I like that.
So with
Yeah.
this kind of collaboration and partnership that you have with Magnolia, what are a couple things that you have learned along the way? Because the one thing that I've noticed is anytime there's a collaboration or partnership, there's usually a growth in both aspects for both companies that go up because there's something that was learned along the way. Is there anything like that for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think for me, so, you know, okay, closed Half United, like the minute I was closing Half United was the same minute that we were launching this project with
wow.
Magnolia, which was really tough emotionally. And it was really hard to be very sad about the ending of a 15-year-long chapter and the beginning of something that I thought might be really cool, but, it was a new uncharted territory for me. So I think all to say, like for example, Magnolia wanted a certain price point that Half United at the time was not meeting because we were selling a bit higher end than their customers were paying at the time. And so what I had done was I had hired this firm who is, gosh, they've probably been in business for 40 years. And what they're known for is connecting American brands with Chinese manufacturers that care about sustainability, are CDEX certified, have things like ISO 14001 certifications. And then, of course, you can see what they pay their employees and how their employees, working conditions,
Yeah.
how it looks. So I hired this really, what I thought was this really cool company to connect me with a manufacturer in China that also did work for some of the biggest well-known brands in America that probably get audited all the time by
Right.
places like Nordstrom and Target and wherever. Well, after a year of development with this Chinese company, they just stopped talking to me. And our order for Magnolia was due, I'm not kidding, in 3 months. And I'm like, "What is happening?" Like, and so I got on the phone with, or no, I got on a video call with the owner of this sourcing company, and he took no responsibility. And we had
Wow.
paid a lot of money
Yeah.
for them to vet and source a manufacturer that, though they were in China, we could be very proud of. He took no responsibility, and so I was in a total scramble. Thank God I have friends in India that own a manufacturing company. I said, "Look, would you guys want to take these leather bags? I need this now." They said yes. In a week's time, I booked a flight to India. I spent weeks in India training
Oh, wow.
these people in India how to make these leather handbags. We would go into Delhi. So we were in Jaipur, but we would drive to Delhi, and I would go through these scariest back alleyways and just like going into these tiny little leather shops trying to pull leathers and find colors and find, I mean, it was nuts. And so anyways, we pulled that off. Then we had some shipping issues. Then we had some customs issues. Our order with Magnolia ended up being 2 months late. Some their fault, some my fault, some stuff out of our
Oh,
control.
yeah.
Anyways, all to say what I learned was, I really thought after this first go round with them, they asked me probably 3 or 4 months ago for a call. And I was like, well, this is it. They're going to gracefully tell me, like, thank you so much. But that was just a little bit too rocky. Like, we're never going to do this with you again. Okay. And they were like, listen, we know that things happen. We actually are calling today to ask you to develop almost 20 new styles for us. Would you be I'm like, so the moral of the story is, I think in business, we all think that everyone else has it figured out. They don't, because in business, you're relying on 10, 100, 1,000 other sources to
Yep.
get you what you need in the time you need it. And we're all reliant upon one another. Magnolia is not naive to this. I kept them up to date minute by minute, probably too much. And so they always knew, we were on it every day. But all to say, it's like in business, don't get too worried. If you're selling a product or if you're pitching a product, whoever is on the receiving end, they really do need you as much as you need them. So that's kind of what I learned. And I feel a bit more confident now.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
So when's your book coming out about the whole trip in India?
I know, exactly. I could write a book at this
Right?
point. Yeah, for
That'd
sure.
be
For sure.
interesting.
Yeah.
So because you've condensed down, do you still have a shop here?
I do. It's tiny.
Okay.
Yeah, teeny tiny. Just right around the corner in the cargo district across from
The Starling Bar?
Starling Bar. Yeah.
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 The shirt that Chris is wearing.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Are you really? Oh, I didn't
Okay,
read it.
Azalea Station, if you have some shirts, 2X's.
We'll
I-
take your
I
shirts as
am-
well.
We were talking about this earlier, about like being plugged into the community. And I think Tyler and I do what we can for people who don't directly live in the cargo district to be connected. And I feel like this is just definitely one of those things. Like I tell my wife, half of my like t-shirt collection are brands and clothes of places that we've been to.
So
They gave us
cool.
great service, and we're always here to shout them out.
Yep.
I think Azalea Station is an amazing shop. Like I love the space. I love how beautifully it's decorated, and
Mhm.
the drinks they're making are amazing.
Yeah, they
Uh,
are. It is. Yeah, this is fantastic.
I tell people, if you ever go to a spot and you get great service, buy a piece of clothing.
Like that.
Because
Good
I mean,
idea.
drinks are great, but I think they make better margins on clothes. I could be
And
wrong.
it's a free
Yeah,
marketing.
they would.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like-
they totally would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because which leads me to the point. Like when you still had Half United, we had some coasters from you guys that we used in the studios. Like anytime anyone was using Cargo District Studios, they would see those and be like, "Oh,
Mhm.
hey, like what's that brand?" Us. I say us. I've lived here my whole life, so I definitely support local brands. Tyler, being a transplant, you've been here.
Oh,
Better.
yeah. I'm 5th generation.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like we
Yeah.
love to celebrate and support those people and the companies that are from Wilmington. Just I mean, if we can help build everybody up, it's one of those circles get bigger.
Yeah. No, it's so important. My gosh. And I think it's cool. It's weird because it was like this morning I was even thinking, you guys know Ash that owns so
Oh,
many
yeah,
great breads, right?
absolutely.
Everyone knows Ash. And it was one of those things right before I got here today. I was thinking about him and his restaurants, and I thought, man, the older I get and the more, I guess, entrepreneurial, it's like, I don't know, it's like when you're young and you own a business, you're kind of just floating along. But the older I get and the more I really think about business and how it adds value to the community, I'm
Yep.
like, man, there's just certain businesses or like the cargo district or his restaurants or I mean many businesses in Wilmington that are owned by people that I'm like, man, they could go anywhere
Yep.
and have those businesses, but they're choosing to stay here and they're choosing to really add value to our community because without them, what would our community be? So
Yeah.
much less. You know, and I was thinking about that with my shop. I say, oh, yeah, it's just a little shop. But then my second thought was, you know, though it is a second shop and though I have focuses that I think should get more of my time and focus, I mean, that, you know, I have other things that I think deserve more time and focus right now, then that still, it should be adding value
Yes.
to the cargo district and it should be adding value to people every time they come in to shop. And that's definitely, whether or not I can be there every day, that's definitely the goal. And I think it's important for every business owner to think that way, you know? Yeah, it builds a community gradually with that.
Now that
yeah.
I'm thinking about it too, our first interview for today, so it was people listening, it was 2 weeks ago. But there's another OG cargo district group over there. So the Clear Vision Glass.
Yes.
So we had them
They're
on
so
earlier.
nice.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
fantastic. And I
yeah.
was like, oh yeah, that's right. You've been here basically since the
We were
very beginning.
we were one of the first stores in the cargo district
Yeah.
ever. Yeah, first businesses. Yeah.
It's just crazy to just think about how big the cargo district has grown and how much people are still investing into this community.
No, okay, you guys. So I have this hidden talent. I'm not kidding.
Okay.
My hidden talent is that I spot winners. This is
Oh,
not
yeah.
a joke. I do this. I can spot that person will be famous. That person's going to be something. It's always right. And Chris from Cheeto, if you know him, who owns Bespoke or owned Bespoke.
Right.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
he and Michaela just sold it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just talked to Michaela.
You did? Yeah.
Just yesterday, actually.
So good.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
funny.
She's coming to do a spot on our shop, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Anyways, but Chris said, hey, Carmen, I want you to come and have your business above Bespoke. And I went and saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this spot. But honestly, at the time, the rent was too expensive.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't think we can swing it. It's not exactly what our team needs. He says, well, there's this man named Leslie who's
Yeah.
starting this thing. He's starting these like shipping container building things. And he goes, you should go meet him. And I met Leslie and immediately I said, this is going to be a win.
Mm.
This is going to be a winner. I want in. I know this is going to win. And here we are all these years later.
Yes.
And it indeed is. And I'm like, see, that little thing
Yeah.
that I have never fails. But yeah, it's a total win and he's a win. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
great. What they've built is awesome.
Our goal is to have either Cheeto and Michaela on
Yes. So
or get-
fun.
or get Foz on here.
Yes,
One
of
of these
course,
days.
they would.
It's one of those, I hear them on the radio.
Yeah.
And as a normal person, I'm like, oh, hey, they're radio personalities.
Yeah.
But you forget that they have more things going on outside of it. And I didn't realize how big
Sure.
entrepreneurs.
Both of them.
Yeah, like
so entrepreneurial. They're so cool.
Yes, they've come here and invested in
Yeah.
this community and both brought multiple businesses, which is crazy to think.
Michaela is so supportive. She'll DM me. She's like, hey, I saw that thing you were doing. If you want local help, let me know. I'm here. And I'm like,
That's
you
awesome.
know, I've known her probably for 15 years when Half United sold at Hallelujah at Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah.
And she worked there.
All right.
And she's one of my sister-in-law and my brother's one of their best friends, dear friend, old friends. And that little Hallelujah group still gets together and hangs out, which I think is awesome. And just to see, and I knew she was going to be a winner. I remember this. Michaela, when we were in high school, she tap dances. I don't know if you guys know
Oh,
this.
wow.
She's a really great tap dancer. And she was like, hey, you've got to come and watch me at, oh gosh, what's our theater?
NCW?
I don't know,
Oh,
downtown.
yeah. Wilson. It's Wilson
No,
Center.
no.
Oh.
It's before
There's-
the Wilsons. Oh gosh.
It's not
Brooklyn
Thalian
Art?
Hall?
Yeah, Thalian.
Oh,
She was
Thalian.
like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to be at Thalian. No, I don't think the Wilson Center was built
Wait,
yet.
no.
And she's
That's
like,
true. Yeah, as well. Yeah.
yeah. And anyways, I don't know what it was, but I remember in that moment, I was like, this girl is a winner. Something about her is special and
Yes.
unique. And she is so special and unique. Yeah.
She's a good one.
She is. She is.
So, talking about unique things,
Yes.
are you planning on expanding your brand? to any other news pieces?
Guys, I am planning on expanding it. And the weirdest thing is right now, I'm actually working on a project that is completely separate from from what I'm doing, but I'm keeping my name on it. So I'm actually wearing it right now.
I've seen that this whole episode.
you
I was like,
seen
what is
this?
this?
Yeah, I was looking at it too.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is funny because it's weird. As we're talking about all this, I forget that I'm like doing this. But I have developed this eco-friendly, this hairband is made out of castor oil and a polymer material. Okay, no plastic, no spandex, no anything man-made. And it's virtually unbreakable. It's made in Japan, and I just had a meeting with CVS last
Oh,
week
wow.
to sell these. Yeah. So I'm wearing them in my hair, but they are the tight. I need to give her some because you have beautiful,
Yes.
thick hair. Yeah.
So much hair.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I'll drop some off, seriously. But this is a win. It is the simplest, most I mean, you would never look at this and think this is anything special, but it is. You cannot break it. Cannot. And it is the tightest hold I have ever experienced. And in college, I was a track runner. And so, you'd be practicing and sweating and like all this stuff. And I mean, you would get on that starting line and all of a sudden, bing.
The one random hair just falls.
Yeah, it's just like that. Those hairbands would just pop or like hit you in the face or hit you on the back of the neck. And you're like, oh, so bad right now. This is so frustrating. And so I developed something that literally will. I've been developing this product for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And in 8 years, I've only had 3 break.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, so this is something new. But yeah, no, I want to expand. I hope this product takes off. And then I really am excited to possibly do home goods with my mom and help her interior design business. And of course, jewelry and handbags. And then hopefully that's it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as a serial entrepreneur,
Yeah.
what really is like success for you?
It's so weird. Zeth and I were just talking about this. Zeth, didn't you ask me, like, what is success for you? And I was like, success to me is just not being stagnant.
Oh.
I just don't want to be stagnant. Like, the minute I feel like customers are bored, customers are, not feeling, I don't know if it's like fed, but I think as, a product designer, as a business owner, I think it's my job and my duty and my team's duty. It's not like we're here to like be the dog and pony show. It's not like that to entertain.
Right.
It's just, I think that as a business owner of any kind of business, it's your job to meet your customers' needs. And what I say is to surprise and delight them.
Yes.
I really think that's our job. And so anytime that I feel, which as an entrepreneur, I might feel this 5 times a week, it's like up and down. Oh, customers are happy. Oh my God, they're not happy. I mean, it's like, it's like I liken it to a glacier where it's like, what you see is the top part that looks shiny and very interesting. What you don't see is the massive mass underneath that could virtually kill you. And, for many ships has taken them down. And that's what it is as an entrepreneur. It's like we're dealing with all this stuff. So for me, success is constant evolution, not becoming stagnant, just continuing to evolve and progress. And that to me is success.
Nice.
Yeah.
And since I already asked you if you could tell your younger self one thing question, I have a different final question for you. So kind of talking about everything that in the glacier, what struggle have you recently overcome and how did you do that?
Gosh, I've overcome so many struggles. My gosh, I feel like I overcome struggles every day. Zeth, is there a struggle I've overcome recently?
He's like, which one?
Yeah, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. No, I mean, I deal with issues and struggles every day.
So I guess then what's the strength that you always fall back to help you get over those struggles then?
I will tell you guys, I have found recently, if I will, in the mornings, okay, if I will wake up, if I will pray, if I will listen to a positive message or sermon, if I will then exercise and journal. This is like, I am telling you, when I do these things, it's like easy sailing.
Yeah.
When I don't do these things, it is not good. I am in my head. I'm concerned. I'm worried. I'm confused. When I do these things, I can handle anything.
Yeah.
And it's like I told you guys I ran track and I walked on to App State's track team, not
Wow.
knowing they were all conference champions and the fastest man in the world ran on our team.
Yes.
Why that coach let me on? No, I did really well. I did really well in high school and took a semester off. And anyways, he let me on the team. Anyways, my point is, sometimes when Zeth and I will be working out, I tell him, I'm like, listen, let me explain something to you, because he is an athlete too. And so
Yeah.
he'll kind of like lead and guide when we're working out. I'm like, listen, because of what I've been through on App State's track team, you can never push me too hard. Like I'm talking like Navy SEAL level workouts is what we did. And I'm like, don't be afraid. Like I can handle it. And so it's kind of that thing. Like if I will do these things in the morning and if I will strengthen myself every day, go to God every day, give him the worries, give him the stress, and just let him have it. It's like there is nothing I can't handle, and I can always come back. But if not, it's like a puddle. It's like so bad. Yeah.
It's one of those things that I'm sure a lot of people, and especially our listeners, have seen is like choose your hard, right?
Yeah.
So in the morning, it's hard to wake up early. It's hard to get that workout in. It's hard to actually get your mind right to journal, but it's also hard to deal with all of the things if you don't.
It's so much harder not doing
Right.
that. Life, and you know, being an entrepreneur and being a business owner, you constantly are thinking about loving everyone well, making all of your products with excellence, customer care, customers think it's cool to meet you, and making sure that that interaction with them is lovely and they walk away remembering something special and not like they met you on your crummy bad day. It's like
Yeah.
there's just a lot of pressure, family pressures. Family wants you. If you're married, we don't have children. God bless mothers that do this. It's like my husband needs my time and attention. My family needs my time and attention. And so it's like, yeah, it's just so much harder without something to ground you for sure.
Yeah. I love that. Good.
Yeah.
So, where can people find you on social media or purchase your products?
Yeah. So now on social media, we are Carmin Black, the brand. You can purchase on magnolia.com,
Nice.
but you can go to carminblack.com. And if you like a product, it'll just redirect you to magnolia.com. Yeah.
And that info will be in the show notes.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, please go buy. Sell through is so important.
Yeah,
It's so
exactly.
helpful. I appreciate it so much.
It is.
Yeah.
Those are we'll have that deep dive conversation in the next one.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
about like sell through and
Yeah.
things like that. Oh, the nitty gritty, like
actual
the
business.
nerdy stuff. Oh, yeah. I
business
could talk about.
conversation.
Oh, yeah. We can talk about cost of goods and pro formas and whatever you want all day. I love it. Yeah.
But I just want to say thank you so much.
Yeah.
It,
Thank
it was
appreciate you coming
great.
back on.
Like I said, you're one of the few that's done a revisit.
Wow.
So you're a friend of the podcast.
Yes.
As such, like I said, check out the show notes. I mean, we like to support everybody local, especially those who are from the district. For those who are watching the video, thank you. Leave us a thumbs up. Those who aren't watching it, still like, comment, share, subscribe. 5-star reviews apparently are really good, and it'll boost us up the algorithm so we can expand our portfolio. I mean, we're currently in Azalea Station. We only have one camera. Hopefully we'll get some new people to invest, and we'll add some multi angles back into this. And
And an editor that's not me. I am a one angle.
Dream.
Yeah.
Tyler's like, if you guys can help support the podcast, we would love that.
Be great.
I'll put the tip QR code in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be great.
Thank you so much. But we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Thank you for having. What an honor! I
Yeah,
really
bless you.
feel honored. Thank you so much and thank you for giving me a shot to, kind of like come back strong.
Mhm.
I was not in my finest moment when I was here last. I was under a lot of stress and worry, and so yeah, this means a lot to kind of say like, no, but I made it. I'm still here. Yeah.
I love to see that.
Yeah, and it was a great last one too, though, because there was still a lot of wisdom in it, and it's
Thanks.
really, and I'm sure for anyone now, if you listen to that one and then this one, kind of hearing what it's like to hear the end of an era versus the beginning of a new one. So I think
Right.
that'll be really interesting to listen back to back.
Oh my gosh, the ends of things are so hard. They can just be so hard. So for anybody out there that is just you're at the end of your rope, I promise you there's a new rope coming.
Yep.
Keep climbing. There's a new
Yes.
one coming. I promise you it's going to be better than before. But you cannot give up because you'll miss out on so many great things that are headed your way. Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah, good way to finish the
Yeah.
episode.
Love that.
All right, guys. Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Cheers.
All right.
Peace.
Cheers.